All right, instruction of the depreciation account with the method. There shall be charged with the monthly with the operating expense with the appropriate account with the creditable of the account with 735 with the accumulated depreciation road equipment the property with the during the service level the depreciable of the equipment the property include the account with the classified with the depreciable amount with the approximately loss of the services with the not restore with the current repair with the coverage with the insurer with the charge with the occurring the depreciation currently with the cumulative with the conformity with the group playing with the cost of the property shove with the percentage rate with the distributive service value with the straight line method the equal annual charge with the operating expense with the other account with the during the estimated life of the property in the case of the account track accounts 8, 9, and 11 the service value the reflected net salvage value of the road property for the cost show originally cost of the estimate of the original cost of the valuation records adjusted for the current date if the carrier submitted the proof of the actual for the cost of the depreciable property with the substantial different with the cost of the figure of the valuation of records the carrier may be with approval of the board use this cost of the figure of the depreciation base. The term of the group plan means the plan of the depreciation chart for the group of the base of the cost of the depreciable property include with the account of the class for the depreciable unit the service line of the individual depreciable units in the accounts properly weighing the determining of the composite annual rate of the depreciation for the purpose of the group plan with the depreciation account of the following primary account with the classified depreciable accounts. Road counts. Grading other right-of-way of expenditures, tunnels, subways, bridges, trestle, culverts, elevated structures, ties, 9, railways, other track materials, 11, bells, 13, fences, snow sheds, signings, 16, station office buildings, 17, roadways, 18, water stations, 19, fuel stations, 20, shop and engine houses, 22, storage water houses, 23, waivers and docks, 24, coal and ore waivers, 25, trailer on flat car, container on flat car terminals, 26 communication system, 27 single interlockers, 29 power plants, 31 power transmission system, 35 miscellaneous structure, 37 the road machine, 39 public improvement construction, 44 shop machinery, 45 power plant machinery. Equipment account with the 52 locomotive, 53 freight train car, 54 passenger train car, 55 highway revenue equipment, 56 load equipment, 57 the work equipment, 58 miscellaneous equipment, 59 computer system, the word processing equipment. When at abandonment of the branch line with the important segment of the track structure over the part of the plant with the depreciation over the includable is includable with the account with the foreseeable the reasonable period of the time due with the exhaustion of the traffic obsolete and other costly absence if there may be on board of the authority record suitable to provision of the anticipation of the probable loss. 4.2. The rate of the depreciation and separately with the composite of the annual percent of the rate of the depreciable property account with the subgroup of the account shall be the computing annual the depreciation expense accumulated the depreciate the composite of the rate shall be based on the result of the depreciation study performed by each of the railroad depreciation studies shall be generally contain the following components: the actual and semi-actual method of determining surface line with the road equipment property salvage value calculation for the road and equipment property accumulated depreciation each of the counts up the count is appropriate. For the other effects of the related with the calculation of both the depreciation profit 5 the commentary of the adjustment of the judgmental factors of the study the railroad shall submit to the board with the review the proof of the report of the depreciation of the proof of the depreciation rate every 3 years equipment property every 6 years for the road property the railroad can have able to submit the depreciation of the private scheduled year in which the new cycle begins and computing the monthly depreciation of the annual percentage of the shall be applied with the depreciation based on the first each of the month of the result shall be divided by 12. D the class 2 railroads exempt of 3 years and 6 years cycle reviews which shall be submitted with the depreciation of the requested by the board. Class 3 railroads are not required to submit the depreciation studies. A separate track depreciation ratio apply with the E for the primary property account with the track density of the category provided in 4.3D with the track depreciation ratio developed the estimating average life of the base and acceptable depreciation method consistently applied with including the option unit the proceeding of the method based on the gross tons per mileage trackage. 4.3. Depreciation records to be kept. The carrier shall maintain each of the class of property convenient with the acceptable form of the engineer with the other of the bearing with the protective of the carrier. Also keep the record of the depreciable property retirement to reflect with the service life of each of the class of the property which has been retired with the will permit the determining service life of the indication by past experience with the useful life of the tenure with the comparable to property with the turnover the other appropriate methods of the service the records will reflect the percent value salvage for the property retired with the class of the depreciable property. The purpose of the analysis of the carrier shall maintain subsidiary records accumulated the depreciation account with the breakdown with the components of the part corresponding to each of the primary account with the show of the current with the or curve of the debit of the balance of each of the account with the service due the detailed information reported annually to the value of the balance sheet. The purpose of the accumulated depreciation account shall be treated with the signal composite account with the depreciable property. Z. Carrier shall be prepared with the justified with all the depreciation rate with the keeping appropriate data with the service line with the salvage value with the track component with which went to light with the non-salvage computation of each of the primary account with the each density category. The investment related with the accumulated depreciation account 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 11, and 39 shall be maintained with the distinct traffic density categories. Each line of the document should identify the January 1st each of the category belonging with the following traffic density based on the average traffic density of the preceding of the years. And then there's 5 classes. All right, 4 lease property depreciation. The carrier shall include the operating with expense chain with the depreciation of the road property of the equipment you did not own with rent for. They include with the lease of the rental accounts over the shall maintain the same records over the life, same values, successful provided the own road property equipment, except for the total amount of compensation paid over the amount of the chargeable depreciation shall be included with the rent account with the same settlement may be the care of the the lease of the not currently made with the depreciation of the occurred during the period of the lease. For credit with the carrier account 772 with accrued liability of the lease property of the necessary adjustment of the difference between the basis and balance of the accrued and the account with the actual amount of the settlement should be made appropriately through the account 519 miscellaneous income, 551 miscellaneous income charge of the title set of the depreciation of the property is made with the leaser. The carrier shall not include the depreciation account in the operating expense of the chain with the depreciation equipment, but not own with the rent thereof, but not include with the lease with the rental account of the shall be included with the surcharge of the appropriate with the other renting expense accounts. 4-5 jointly use the joint property with the depreciation only. Carrier shall include the depreciation account with the operating expense of the charge of the depreciation with the depreciable joint with the owner born with the other carrier with the owner. Carrier shall the credit with each of the carriage shall cover the charge with the appropriate joint facility account with the operating expense of the amounts billed with the owning with the carrier each for the use of the carrier to the proportion of the service allowed with the property retired with the service with the bill currently the depreciation when the retirement occurred with the loss of the service value of the use of the carrier shall be required to account with the depreciation of the retiree units of the road property jointly but not owned with the extent of the contract liability. The same principle shall apply with the terminal compliant with the non-owner tenants. An account with the depreciation accrued with the retirement charges recorded an account for the terminal company to the terminal companies. 5. Service instruction for the income balance and sheet accounts.